I was diagnosed in 1977. I was only a young man because I have a macular dystrophy, which I think many people in layman's terms describe as the younger person's age-related macular degeneration. When I was first diagnosed, I actually didn't know I had a problem. It was my optician, who was a very skilled man. He noticed some strange marks at the back of my eye and recommended that I see a specialist. And then I got the news, you have macular degeneration. He said, you won't go completely blind. And of course, using the word blind was bad enough. Then he said, you must make provision for the future. And then he followed that up with, there's nothing can be done, so I won't need to see you again. So yeah, it was pretty devastating. In the early 80s, I was registered as partially sighted, and it was then that the impact really started to hit me. I had to find the support. I discovered the Access to Work scheme, which I think was in its early days then, which enabled me to get certain pieces of equipment. Computers weren't commonly used in offices in those days. I mean, it was the early 80s. So it was more a question of a closed-circuit television, magnification, just small magnifiers that I could hold up to my eyes to try and read stuff. And with copious amounts of effort, I was able to still read to an extent, certainly to hold my job down. In 1983, I went on a 3-month rehabilitation course in Torquay, which was provided by the RNIB at the time, which, quite frankly, was more useful for me psychologically than practically, because suddenly I found myself in a world with about 85 people all facing sight loss. Some were losing the whole of their vision. I knew that was not going to happen for me. And out of that 80-odd people, 3 of us had a job. So suddenly I was projected as the lucky one. It helped me adjust quite a lot, and it made me realise, okay, I've got a difficult eye condition, but there are others that are a lot worse off than me. I mean, where it became really tricky was when I came home, back to the office again, and suddenly I was poor Dennis again. Dennis has got this eye problem. And I literally had people stopping me and saying, I'm so sorry to hear what's happening to you, and even people that I didn't really know. And it's hard to deal with that. It's what does one say when someone offers sympathy? I'm not sure I always wanted people's sympathy. You know, I just wanted to get on with things and do the best I could. When I had to stop working was really, I had a breakdown in the office. I had done quite well in my career. I'd become a senior officer in a bank. I travelled abroad quite a lot, alone. So those trips had to be planned meticulously, which I was able to do. But one day I was reading some legal documentation and I just felt I can't do this anymore. I was only 47. What am I going to do for the rest of my life? And that was when I joined the Macular Disease Society, went on a short 12-week course locally here in Bromley, where I live now, on insights into counselling because it just sounded interesting, and it gave me the appetite, and I've never looked back since. With me, I think it was also being able to consciously deny what was really going on in a way where I was aware that I was doing it. It's not like it's unconscious denial. I was just able to reorganise my thinking and not think about what I couldn't do and think about what I could do. And I think the support I got from my close family and my friends made the difference. If I was giving somebody advice about MD, I would say accept or at least be made aware of all the help that's available. Look at technology. Anticipate change in certain areas of one's life, which is inevitable, like stopping driving, not being able to recognise people in the street. So those are the negatives. But to think to themselves at the same time, I haven't actually lost everything. So where are my skills that remain? I would say to people, don't clam up, don't keep everything you're feeling to yourself. Obviously I have a strong belief in counselling because I'm a counsellor and I run a service. I think it is so helpful for people to go to a neutral place where they don't have to worry about upsetting their partner or their family or their friends who are obviously emotional as well. In a counselling setting, one can express how one feels without worrying that the counsellor is going to be upset. And I think it's important to deal with those difficult feelings, and they will be there, most definitely. Many people feel it's life-ending, it's life-changing for individuals, and if one can just try to take it in one stride and deal with what's happening over a period of time and deal with the changes, it can actually become okay. And I'm pretty happy with my life now. I don't think about what I can't do. I think about all the things and I focus on all the things that I can do. So it's not quite so bad. In fact, it's pretty good.